So the process, a lot of people want to know about the process. You've already gone through pieces of the process. Phase one, meeting with the leadership so I can understand where they are. We did do the theme report. The theme report will be given to you, and there's nothing edited on it. I believe that if I'm going to spend the time to be able to do the report, I think you guys should get the same thing as everybody else. I don't sugarcoat things. They are what they are, so I will give that to you. And then we have the kickoff, so, and that's obviously today. So we're going to work around, what is the difference between fixed and growth mindset, and we're going to talk a little bit about how people make decisions and why this is so difficult and why teams have a really hard time doing that. And then the phase 3 is really this 12-week of coaching. So once we get done with the strategy plan, so a large part of today is really kind of teaming, taking out the activity. We are going to put it on for next week so that we can make sure that we've got a big enough place to do it. We thought about doing it in a lot of different places, but we thought we might get in trouble, so we said we're not going to do that, so we're going to hold. So we'll do it next week, but it's really going to be around how to change your mindset, and we're going to probably start working in some of the smaller teams. So you've got numbers on your name plates just because that's going to be the team that you're assigned to for doing some of these smaller strategies. So once we get the game plan built, I will have it in an Excel, and I will keep that updated every week. So that will be after that February 8th meeting. Then the next week, you will get a Survey Monkey from me. It's very, very quick. It's only 5 questions usually, won't take very long. But with any team that I work with, it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 6 or it's a team of this size, there's always somebody that doesn't get heard. And so that's really important that everybody gets heard. That's a very valuable thing for everybody. So that monkey will come out. I will meet with leadership. I'll meet with Tara before every meeting, and hopefully, if Tammy wants to join us, great. But I will be keeping really close tabs on the leadership perspective of this as well, but also what's important to all of you and how do we keep this process moving and going. Once the plan is built, and we'll show you that a little bit later, but we will track it because I believe that tracking your performance has to be done in minutes and not miles. Because if you track or you look at your performance quarterly, you're waiting too long. If you're looking at any sort of a KPI on activity or, with performance, with this company so far, what I see is everybody, is pretty quick. They measure pretty fast, right? So if you want something, it's done. It's usually a couple days or next week. I'm sure some of those guys that were with us last weekend did that piece, you kind of under that gun. I don't want you to feel some under that pressure, but what we do want to do is build a plan of something that inspires you for change. What I did find out in that theme report was that it's not just one team's, it's not a problem, it just affects everybody. You've got bookends with your payment integrity team, you've got people on the prepay, the post-pay, your analytics, your coding. This is a very robust process that you have here. So I don't think it's all just one area, and which is why I just absolutely love for everybody that's joining us that's outside of this team. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because it really does matter. It matters a lot to everybody. During this phase, I'm going to back up to this picture right here on this transformation page. Most of this team process during the 12 weeks happens usually in these 2 stages right in here, which is where you're kind of norming and you're storming. You're working through some of these things that are getting in your way, whether that's lack of communication, lack of deciding the right problems, but it really is the very end, and you start to see people kind of transform. So things that you're hanging on to that you've experienced in your past lifetime, if you can find some way of honing some of those things that are good for you as far as making better decisions, but you can't let your past decisions get in the way of what you're going to do throughout this process, right? So if you've had a negative experience, we're going to ask you to kind of clear your mind. We're going to talk about that so you can stay open to that creative piece that we need. At the very end, we are going to have a celebration. It's important that everybody gets celebrated every week. But it's also at the very end, and that has to be with the permission of the company. What are the rules around celebration? The team that I was with in Kansas City, it was one of the very last times that GSK let us do anything social with anyone anymore. So we were able to buy tickets to a Chiefs game, but we couldn't do anything else but that because that was all the money they gave us. So everybody got together and they brought up potluck. So we brought their families, we did, something on the parking lot. So you can be creative with it. So you can be thinking creatively how you want to celebrate each other at the very end.